Good afternoon, everybody. We end the season here at Gig Lane with a 1-1 draw against League One side Bury, and I'm joined by Port Vale manager John Askey. John, it wasn't the win that we were hoping for to end the season on, but it was a terrific performance.
Yeah, we played well. Some of the football was as good as we played since I've come in. It was a shame that we couldn't score more goals. But yeah, I was just pleased that, for the supporters who've come, I think there was about 1,000 supporters, which is a fantastic turnout. That we put on a performance, and although we didn't get a win, we got a admirable draw.
Signs of what this team are capable of with some of the football they played out there today.
Yeah, sometimes it's frustrating because you see how they can play, and then you sometimes see how they can't. And obviously there's got to be more consistency, because if they can get the consistency, obviously they're going to finish a lot higher up the table.
How pleased are you that you were able to come into this game knowing that you were safe and you could come here and enjoy the football against a team who are also going to be in a party atmosphere as well?
Yeah, I think this last 3 or 4 weeks to know that we were safe, and that was the aim when obviously we came in. Just pleased that obviously Port Vale are still in the Football League. When you see the likes of Notts County dropping out, it shows that it can happen to anybody.
Reflecting now, because we can do now the season's over and we're safe, how tough has it been since your appointment?
It's not been tough, as it's been very enjoyable. There's been times when I'm thinking, what are we going to get out of it? But I think I've said before, once we played Notts County, we put in a good performance and the crowd were really behind us, and then it snowballed from the Mansfield game. So no, it's been satisfying to know that obviously we're safe, and it obviously meant that a little bit more to me with coming from Stoke-on-Trent.
We've mentioned this a few times, that Notts County game really was a big turning point. We didn't get the win that we were after, but there was just something in the air, the atmosphere amongst the players and amongst the fans that just seemed to change things for you and the team. It
did. We talked about it before the Notts County game, things that we weren't doing right. And that was mainly closing down, but as you say, something seemed to change. It was so important that we went there and got a result, and the players played under a great deal of pressure in about 4 or 5 games, and they responded really well. And it's not easy to do. It's easier when you're winning every week. When you've been used to losing, it's really hard to turn it around.
How much pride do you have knowing that as a Port Vale manager you came in a really difficult situation and dragged this team to safety with some terrific performances throughout March and the start of April? You must feel very proud of what you and Dave, Kevin and the players have achieved. I'm
really pleased. It'd be relief as much as anything, because the last thing I wanted to do was come here and take the Vale down. I was obviously dreading that, but I thought I could help. And I'm sure other people could have helped, other managers, but for me to be able to do that and be part of us staying up obviously means a great deal.
Is there a highlight moment that stands out for you?
I think it's your interviews.
Here we go. Which part of my interviews?
There's been 1 or 2, haven't there? So, but no, there's. I think the Mansfield game and the Crew. I thought we played really well against Crew. And it's satisfying. It's always satisfying to beat Crew, but to do it in the way that we did was really pleasing.
We're hearing the celebrations for Bury outside there. I know it's a difficult situation to talk about with your future, but if you are the manager of Port Vale Football Club for next season, how much would it mean to you to hear those scenes at Vale Park for next season?
I think that's what we all want. If you're in charge of a football club, if you're a player, you want to win things, and obviously you want to do it for everybody at the football club and the supporters. But football's about winning, and it's going to be tough. If I'm still here, we've been dicing with relegation for the last 2 or 3 years, and but it's achievable. I know from my time in management that anything's achievable if you can get the right group of players and the spirit going, and with the support that we've obviously got, then anything's, we're capable of anything.
I don't want to be a downer on that, but how important is it to manage expectations, though, for next season? Considering the past couple of seasons we have, it would be a big ask to go from the battle with relegation we've had this season to promotion pushes. But as you said, with the right group of characters around the dressing room, it's certainly, in the club sides.
Yeah, as you see from the league, the teams who are at the top, the ones who've gone up, have got the biggest budgets. So I think when it comes apparent what the budget's going to be, whether Norman's still here or whether Carol and Kevin take over, people have got to realise that you are limited. But if we can stabilise it, that's the most important thing, and we don't end up at the end of the season worrying whether we're going up or down, and then hopefully keep progressing. But you can feel that there's a feel-good factor, and all the Vale supporters getting behind us, and we've got to try and continue that. And the only way we'll be able to maintain that is by performances on the pitch, and having players who week in, week out are going to give everything they can for the football club. So I think it'll be a good time to be at Port Vale.
And what an atmosphere those fans created today. We're not playing for anything here today, but just under 1,000 fans here, and they've really stuck by this team through thick and thin. They've had a tough couple of years, those fans, haven't they?
I was amazed at the turnout today, with, as you say, nothing to play for. And no, they've been terrific since I've come in. The support that they've given the players and myself, it's a big reason why we stayed up. That, as we talked about in Notts County, the support has really got the players going, and it does make a difference. And hopefully we can get a few more coming. We can play decent football, not just decent football, but winning football as well.
Definitely. Well, this is where we usually end it and say we'll be joined by you next week, but we're not going to be now. That's the end of the season for us. Plans? Holiday soon, or straight onto the transfers?
Well, plans. We'll see what happens at the football club. I just wish everybody a good summer, and hopefully I'll be seeing more of Port Vale next season.
Definitely. We hope to see you here next season as well. Thank you for being so good with us. Valiants, we wish you all a very good summer. That's it from us here at Port Vale for the 2018-19 campaign. We'll see you in a couple of months' time when we resume what's going to be, no doubt, an eventful season.